Hello everyone, we all know that Spring Servlet Stack takes advantage of ServletContainer. In the first video, by adding only Web Dependency, we have DispatcherServlet, which is a representative of Spring for Servlet in ServletContainer. In today's video, we're going to add Security Dependency, and by that, we're going to have a DelegatingFilterProxy, which is a representative of Spring for ServletFilter in ServletContainer. So we can see the Spring architecture pattern here, right? So instead of letting us declare whatever number of servlets that we want, Spring consolidates them into one dispatcher servlet. And our responsibility turns into taking care of controllers, services, repository beans, mostly in this area. Similar to DelegatingFilterProxy, that allows bridging between servlet containers lifecycle and Spring application context, this area. Simply put, we would like to intercept our request, and the most intuitive way is create a servlet filter as we demoed in the last video. So by creating a servlet filter here, DelegatingFilterProxy, and delegate all the work to the application context, Spring beans, we can isolate our working zone, which is these Spring beans in our application context from the servlet container lifecycle. Okay, let's see what Spring going to provide us in terms of filtered after adding security dependency without doing anything. So there are four things. First, DelegatingFilterProxy, as we've been talking about it so far. The second is FilterChainProxy, which delegates the work to one and only one SecurityFilterChain. In this list of SecurityFilterChains, which is also the third thing. And the last thing is security filters in each chain, like user password authentication filters, basic authentication filter, authorization filters. There are a lot more. So by default, Spring only gives us one security filter chain named default security filter chain, and is mapped to any request. But it doesn't mean we can only have one security filter chain. Instead, we can have a list. That's why I put some other chains here in red colored to show that it's actually a list, and just by default only have one auto-configured by Spring. And to prove that, in this video, we are going to explicitly declare two security filter chains to see how they work together in combination with FilterChainProxy. Okay, back to our default diagram. We also noticed that our security filter chain has order. It means order is important when initializing security filter chains as well, as same as servlet filter ordered. The lower order, the more prioritized security filter chains. But why order is important? Because, as we already emphasized before, the FilterChainProxy only delegates its request to one and only one security filter chains, and only the first one that matches is invoked. Let's look at our diagram that we are going to implement. In here, we have two security filter chains, one match API key and one match any request. Let's take a look at the orders. So this order, let's say is ordered is X. So this one is X minus 1, right? So this is lowered and this order is higher. So for example, the client send get/hello. So this request go through these filters and go to DelegatingFilterProxy, which is delegate to FilterChainProxy. And at FilterChainProxy, it's gonna look over this list of security filter chains to find the first one that matches. So the security filter chains one is checked because the order is lower, right? Not match. Seen. This is /hello, this is /API key. Then the second prioritized one is selected, match. This for any request. Then the request from FilterChainProxy will go through all the filters, Spring filters of this security filter chains. For example, these filters, username password authentication filters, basic authentication filtered, authorization filtered, and when it finishes at its authorization filter, be aware that it does not go through the next security filter chains if we have any. Then it will end up at DispatcherServlet, different from the servlet filtered. So when we add a servlet filtered, when we finish at that filter, it's going to the next servlet filtered. But for security filter chains, when it's finished, the last filtered in security filter chains is not going to go to the next security filter chains. So only one security filter chains is chosen by the FilterChain proxy. And after it finished its all security filter chains, the request going to reach at the DispatcherServlet, similar to get/API key/hello. So it will go through the DelegatingFilterProxy, FilterChain proxy, and because it's matched the higher prioritized /API key, so it's going to this filter chains. It's go through all the filter in this filter chains. For example, API key filter, authorization filters, and when it's finished at authorization filters, it's not go down to the security filter chains, but it's back to the servlet, DispatcherServlet. So basically the flow should something like, so go to X filtered here, servlet filtered, and go to the FilterChain proxy, then go to X filtered in the filter chains. I call it Spring Filter, right? Security filters, Spring filters, and after authorization filters, it's go to the DispatcherServlet and go to handler mapping, then back to DispatcherServlet to call controller service, get the result back to the servlet, and back to the authorization filters, back to API key filters, back to orders filters of the chains, and then back to DelegatingFilterProxy, to back to request context filters, from content filter back to character encoding filter, and back to the client. So this is the entire chain. Okay, we talked too much. Let's move on writing some code. If you're new to the series, you can start at start.spring.io, only Spring Web, and lump up it in up. If you followed from the last video, let's undo what we did in the servlet filters. Okay, we're going to delete this file, my API. This is the servlet filter, right? And then we will comment this one. We no longer use it to register a servlet filtered. So with web dependency only, let's run our servlet again to check the current default that we have. So as you can see here, without security dependency, we're going to have the character encoding filters, from content filtered, request context filtered, 3 servlet filtered, and 1 DispatcherServlet, right? So 3 filtered, and with 1 DispatcherServlet with the Spring Boot starter web. Next, let's add the security dependency. Okay, web, and now, and add a logging level for Spring Security. Okay, we have logging level for web. Now we have a logging level for Spring Security, SecurityChains. Let's run our servlet again. Oh, I forgot. We need to restart Gradle before we restart our servlet. Okay. Okay, now Spring Security Dependency is applied. So you can see here using generated security password. Okay, so let's take a look at the mapping servlet filters. So now we have 1 servlet filtered named Spring Security FilterChain. The order is -100. Beside the 3 character encoding, from content filters, and request context filters, 1 DispatcherServlet as before. So this is the DelegatingFilterProxy after adding security Spring Boot started. Okay, then the order is -100. So it is the highest one. So that's why this DelegatingFilterProxy at the end of this chain, this application filter chain. Okay, let's take a look at our log again. So we will see that So this security filter chains proxy actually generated from a bean named SecurityFilterChains registration. So let's take a look at the auto configuration class here, security filter auto configurations. Then we're going to see that so the DelegatingFilterProxy registration beans is auto configured for us. So do you see the registration beans is familiar? So basically it's similar to the filter registration bean that we used in the last video where we want to initialize our servlet filtered. So that's the reason I comment this one for you to see the similar thing. So now Spring Security using the DelegatingFilterProxy registration bean to register its servlet filtered DelegatingFilterProxy. And if we follow the auto configurations, go to security auto configurations, Spring Boot web security auto configuration, we go to the enable web securities and web security configurations. So in here we can also see that we auto configured a method Spring Security Filter Chains that return a filter. So it's actually our FilterChains proxy. So FilterChains proxy here. So it's a bean, a Spring bean named Spring Security Filter Chains. So you see here, so this is a bean named Spring Security Filter Chains. So if we take a look at the body of the method here, we'll see that the web securities add the security filter chains. So we can have a list of security filter chains in the FilterChains proxy, a list of security filter chains. So where are the default security filter chains here? Okay, let's go to the security filter auto configuration again. Then we go to security auto configuration and Spring Boot web security auto configured. In here we will see, so this is where Spring auto configured the default security filter chains for it. So this is the security filter chains name default security filter chains auto configured by Spring for us. And you see we have three lines here. So with from logging, with HTTP basic, and any request that going through that chains need to be authenticated to reach the DispatcherServlet. So by default, with only some line of code here, it will provide you out of the box from logging authentication and basic authentication for this chains. And there are a lot of things auto configured for us as well. Something we even not aware of when we first come to security, like HTTP security headers, etc. So we will explore Spring filters. So this I'll call it Spring filter, or you can call it security filters. So we will explore Spring filters in details in the next videos. At the moment, we only need to know they will protect our servlet by from logging and HTTP basic mechanisms. Okay, let's see how it works. Before that, let's add some API to test. So if you don't have the Hello controller, you can create your one. So we had it in the last video. So this time we're going to add one more. Okay, now we have two API /hello and /API key hello. So the last API key hello will return instead of a blank string, so it will return a map. Greeting hello world. That's it. Okay, let's restart our application. And let's try to call our API /hello from browser. Okay, localhost hello. So we'll see it's redirect us to a login page, right? It is from login authentication mechanism. So we need to fill in the username and password. And where's this information come from? So it's from in-memory user detail service, but since we only focus on filter in this video, let's leave it for the next video. So at the moment, we only need to know that. So basically, for the default basic, and for login authentication, we have one user with the username is user, and the password is printed at the log when we start running applications. So here is the password for basic authentication, and for logging mechanism, here's the sign. Okay, then we can see the response. And let's try to call this API from Postman. So in Postman, yes, ATT hello, let's send it. And it's returned 401 unauthorized. And in Postman, we can use the basic HTTP, the HTTP basic authentication. So basically basic, and we have user, the username is user, and the password is the same, right? But what is this one? Let's copy this. Then send basic. So basically, by adding username password here in the authorization server, it's actually create the authorization header key, the basic value with the basic, and this is the username and password encoded. We'll talk about this later as well. So just at the moment, let's run it. Then it's returned hello world as expected. Okay, so basically without doing anything, only adding the security dependency, we can protect all of our APIs. And to understand more how request is processed in our servlet, let's put a breakpoint in the SecurityFilterChains do filters method. Okay, let's go to FilterChainProxy, FilterChainProxy, do filtered. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here, and let's try to send a request again. Here, so we have this is our FilterChainProxy, and let's see. Okay, go through it. Do filter internal. So let's go and do filter internal, and then we'll see here's get filters. Okay, this is the important one. Okay, let's go to this one. Then we'll see we have in the FilterChainProxy, we have a list of filter chains, right? And by default, it had one security filter chains match any request, and this security filter chains is this one. So this one named default security filter chains, and okay, let's look here. Security filter chains match any request, right? And this is the filters, the security filters, string filters. So you see we have username password authentication filters, username password authentication filters, basic authentication filters, and authorization filters. So username password authentication filters, basic authentication filters, authorization filters. Alright, so there are many filters, 16 many filters here, and we'll see that we look over the chains, and we see if the chains is matched, so it will return only the filter of this chain, so the other chains will be ignored, right? So that's why we already discussed before that the FilterChainProxy only get one security filter chains that first match with the request. Okay, so it's return the filters of this chain only, and that's why other chains will be ignored for this request. Okay, and with that, you can see, okay, we return 200. Okay, because we have a valid username password for this chain using basic authentication and for login authentication with this user, so that's why it's valid. Okay, let's go ahead and make it more interesting by doing our exercise. So in our exercise, we're going to have two security filter chains. So the the first one for API key, and the second one is let's copy the default one. Okay, then let's back to console. Where's console? We need to copy the default security chains. Okay, where are you? Okay, so this is the default one. We will reuse this one for our second chain. Then here, okay. So this one is our second chain. So as you can see here, so the order is the lowest order minus 5. So like you see, 47 minus 5 is 42, right? So 42, I list here. So basically, that's it for the second security filter chains. For the first one, let's create this security filter chains, and this one I'll name it API key security filter chains, and this one going to match any request that has the /API prefix. And for these requests, both of them need to be authenticated by providing an API key header in API key filters. Same behavior as the last video, but in this time we register this filter in the security filter chains instead of ServletFilter in ServletContainer as the last video. So basically we're going to have two Spring Security Filter Chains. This one had a lower order, so it is the first one, and this one is the second Security Filter Chains. So you see here's the first one, and this is our second one. At the moment, you don't need to understand what is going to be declared here. We are going to declare it in our next video. So we only need to know that, so this is going to have the different mechanism for authentication. So this is logging and activity basic. This is checking the API key. So let's create our class API key filtered. So our API key filters will use an API key token, and we need to create this as well. Okay, that's it for API key token. Then we're going to have our API key filters, and at the moment we only need to know that, so this filters is generate the API keys. So here's our we will generate based on the base 64 encoder, and to encode the password, and that's it. Then we will bring this API key to the console, and then whenever we want to call a request, this filter will match the API keys with the API key in our header is API keys, and if they match, we allow them to go through the filter to the next filter. But yeah, we're going to talk about these later. Okay, now we have two security filter chains. Let's restart our server. Okay, you see API key here, right? And okay, let's try to send some requests. So you see our hello doesn't match the security filter chains one, the API key security filter chains. So it's go to this security chain to check, and then it's not match, so it's going to match again the security filter chains 2, which is for all requests, and that's why the /hello will go to the security filter chains 2 with activity basic. So that's why if we want to send a hello, we have to use the user, for example, without anything. Then let's ignore all the breakpoint here. So we return false 01 unauthorized, right? Then if we use the basic authentication, we need a new. Okay, then send it, so it's successful. But if we use the API key, for example, the API key, so it's API key, and where's our API key? Bring this from the beginning, right here. If we're using API key and then we send a request, hello is going to the second security filter chain, and the second required basic authentication. So only basic authentication work for /hello. But if we want to send to API key hello, then this time let's go to no auth. So without any authorization information, so it's 401 unauthorized, right? And with the basic authentication, the basic one. So send, really? My bad. Because this API key, sorry, mistake. So API key, because our request here is API key. Okay, let's restart again. Okay, then the user password. Okay, API key. Then user, so API key, now API key hello, we send it. Okay, night. Okay, so you see now 401, because for /API key hello, we expect the API key authentication mechanism. Then if we move to API key here, and API key, the value from console, okay, but okay, so we see reading hello world. Okay, so we had a demo with two requests, one /hello and one /API key hello, with two security filter chains in the field of FilterChainProxy. And this /API key hello will go through the first one that needs a API key in a header. It's API key, and with the /hello only, it will go through the securityFilterChain 2, which is require HTTP basic or from logging to get access to the DispatcherServlet. And that's it for the video. So to sum up, when working with Spring Security, so most of the time you will work at this zone, and most of the time one security filter chain is enough for your services. So for your information, you can check the official Spring Security documentation. Here's DelegatingFilterProxy, and then the FilterChainProxy, what in the DelegatingFilterProxy, and in FilterChainProxy, we're going to have many Spring Security filter chains, and in each Spring Security filter chains, we have many security filters. So I'll call it Spring filters. Next video, we'll discover together the security filters here. Okay, thank you so much for taking your time watching this video and this series. Hope you can learn something new here, and see you in the next video. Happy coding!